this problem, we're going to walk through a Venn diagram, and these can be quite tricky. So let's just go through it one step at a time. The list below shows the number of students who participate in football and track at Farrell Middle School. A total of 33 students participate in football, and a total of 24 students participate in track. There are 8 students who participate in both sports. Now the key here is to say, well, if there are 33 in football, say that, and there are 24 in track. And this is where they get tricky. When they say there are 8 students who participate in both sports, they're not saying to add on to these numbers. They're saying, well, in total, a total of 33 students are in football and a total of 24 are in track. So out of this total, there are 8 students who participate in both teams. So what does that mean? Well then, if we subtract 8 from the 33, right, who are the students who are in both sports, we'll have the students who are just in football only. So football only. Only. Same thing with track. If we subtract those 8 students who are in track and football from the total track group, we'll get the students who are just on the track and not on football. And that is what? 24 minus 8 is 16, and that's on track only. And that's tricky, you know, they're not really saying that very clearly. It's kind of hidden in their language, but we'll talk about it a little bit more to help draw out why this makes sense. I think the Venn diagram actually helps us do that. So I'm going to draw this rectangle outside of the Venn diagram. It represents the total space of the school, because I might have some students who are just not playing any sports, and they want you to title the diagram. So let's just do that. Let's call it sports in middle school, and that would work. Label each circle. So this circle right here could represent either track or football. Let's call it football. And then let's take red and have that represent track. Okay, place a number in each section of the diagram. So if this red circle represents track and this blue circle represents football, this middle part right here, that is the group that plays both sports. That's the 8 people in both. And then we have this little track section over here, just this part of the circle. And that's what? Well, that's part of the total track group, but not part of the group that's in both. So it's the students who are only in track. That's the 16 students. And then we have this other area over here in the circle, this pink area, right? It's kind of, that's the football players who only play football and not also track, because they're not in what's called this middle part, the intersection. They're not in the intersection. And so that's the football players who just play football, and that's 25. So the total number of students who play these sports are 25 plus 8 plus 16. Well, 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 6, 36, plus 5, 41, plus 8, 49. So 49 students play in these sports at this school. And we'll look at other problems like this in other videos, but this is a good start. Just remember that if they're saying there are a total of a certain group and another group, and then there's this third group that are in both categories, that means you're taking away from the total. So if they say total, they mean that's everybody who plays football. There's no one else. So if there are 8 students who participate in both sports, it's got to be taken from that 33. Alright, hope that helped.